it going, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maddison Hill, and yes, it's time for another Pop Off with Maddison. For today's Pop Off, I want to fill you guys in on a recent interview that Khloe Kardashian did, because holy moly, she is spilling all the tea, and I have to fill you in on it. So for those of you who don't know, Khloe Kardashian recently sat down on the Not Skinny But Not Fat podcast, and she completely opened up about her relationship with Tristan Thompson. She talked about his recent paternity scandal, whether or not she actually called him a liar during the Kardashians' Hulu premiere. She also talked about where they stand now and where she's at on dating. So obviously gonna fill you in on all of that. Plus, she also made a comment about Lamar Odom and how she feels about him consistently talking about her on Big Brother and in the press. You guys know I do have a soft spot for Lamar Odom, so I obviously want to talk about that with you all as well. So yeah, it's a lot and we're gonna get into it all. But first, because I haven't seen your beautiful faces in so long, I obviously have to check in and see how the House of Hill is doing. So let me know how you are, what you've been up to, all of that good stuff down below. Me personally, I know I wasn't around a lot last week. That's because I actually flew back to Kansas City. My sister and I did a little sister staycation in Kansas City. It was actually really fun. We got to go to some places that we've never been to before despite growing up there. And on top of that, we also surprised one of our childhood best friends for her bachelorette party. We got her to cry, we got the tears, and then we also had so much fun throughout the weekend, just spending time with friends and some family that we have there. So it was really fun, but I am happy to report that I will not be traveling for about the next 4 weeks, I think is how long it is. I know it's definitely at least a month, so I am excited to be back in LA. I'm excited to be refocused on work and my channel and seeing you guys on a more consistent basis again. I'm so sorry that I've been so crazy these past couple of weeks, but like I said, I'm happy to be back and I'm happy to get back to spilling the tea with you all. So without further ado, I know you straight to the tea people are ready for me to get into this Khloe interview. So go ahead and drop this time code down in the comments to help out your fellow straight to the tea people. And now without further ado, let's go ahead and get into unwrapping these Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson facts. Alright, so as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Khloe Kardashian recently sat down and did an interview on the Not Skinny But Not Fat podcast, and she opened up about a lot of things, but in particular, she really opened up a lot about her relationship with Tristan Thompson. So first up, in regards to her relationship with Tristan Thompson, Khloe Kardashian talked about how when Keeping Up with the Kardashians started, there was no social media. Therefore, people weren't really able to push their own narratives onto her and her sisters. Now, obviously, that has all completely changed, and Khloe mentioned that it's, quote, not natural how much outside noise that they're all exposed to. She also said it's something that you can't prepare for, and it was especially something she couldn't prepare for when it came to her relationship with Tristan. Khloe went on to talk about how this outside noise has affected her, saying, quote, it's definitely taken a shift. I don't know if it has to do with maybe like stuff between me and Tristan. I'm not sure if like that maybe broke my confidence, and then everything else piled on. Khloe then continued talking about her relationship with Tristan Thompson, specifically his most recent paternity scandal, where he got Mara Lee Nichols pregnant while he was still with Khloe. When Khloe was asked if Tristan Thompson gave her a heads up at all that this paternity scandal was about to hit the news and the headlines and break, Khloe said, quote, I found out every time through a sister. I find out with the rest of the world, which is the most offensive part. All of it is up, but can there be a little respect? Continuing on, as far as that rumor that Khloe Kardashian yelled liar during the Kardashians Hulu premiere, if you don't know what I'm referencing, that is something that Khloe Kardashian did during Tristan Thompson's second public cheating scandal when he cheated with Jordan Woods. She did that into the phone while talking to him in Palm Springs. Anyway, there was a rumor that Khloe Kardashian did this during the Kardashians Hulu premiere when Tristan Thompson was seen talking to her about going to therapy and changing and trying to prove to her that she could trust him again. So there was this rumor that Khloe kind of made this scene during the premiere, and she actually did confirm that the rumor is true. She did do it. She said, quote, I'm now a viewer and I'm like, what the is this bull I'm listening to? That was the first thing that came to mind, but I also felt like, and this totally could have been me making it up, that everyone was like looking at me to see my reaction, and I don't know if that's true or not. Now, as far as where Khloe and Tristan stand now, she noted that they do get along for the sake of True. He reportedly FaceTimes True every night and things are cordial. Khloe went on to say, quote, like, to me, the facts are the facts. What are we going to continuously fight about? I don't need to know everything, but I know the facts, and that's enough for me. Khloe also went on to note that she doesn't want to see Tristan destroyed because there are, quote, good sides to him. However, no one gets to see those sides because they're focused on the personal drama, which, hello, how can we not be focused on the personal drama? Khloe went on to maintain that Tristan is a good person. He's just not a good partner for her. Then she continued on saying, quote, I want everyone to still have like a fair shot at just being happy and having a good life. So I don't ever encourage anyone to just jump on the bandwagon, but I also think people can have their own feelings and do what they want. But he's always going to be in my life because of True, and he's a great great dad, and that's all I really need to focus on. Now, let me say, I do believe all of that to be true. I do think that Khloe is fine being cordial with Tristan, and I think she's also just trying to focus on herself, because when Khloe was asked if she's ready to start dating again, she said that she is, quote, not in the headspace to be in another relationship. She said if she met someone organically, maybe. She doesn't know what she would do, but as of right now, she's not on any dating apps, which doesn't surprise me or anything like that. She also mentioned that she thinks she's going to be super judgy when it comes to her next relationship, which after everything this girl has been through, I think that is more than fair. Now, last but certainly not least, I do want to fill you guys in on what Khloe Kardashian had to say about Lamar Odom, because she was also asked about how she feels about Lamar consistently talking about her in the press, and also talking about her recently when he was on Celebrity Big Brother. And surprisingly, Khloe Kardashian said she does not mind at all. In fact, she said, quote, I want everyone to be successful and do what they want to do. Like, I'm happy for Lamar. He looks like he's in a really good place. Now, she did clarify she hasn't actually seen him in years, but then she went on to say, quote, I think it's so sweet that he says such nice things about me. And not to be arrogant, but I wouldn't expect him not to say anything nice about me. Like, I don't know. We've been cool with one another, so I don't expect anything negative, but sometimes people jump on that bandwagon just for attention, and I'm proud that he's not doing that. Now, a couple additional pieces of tea before we start this pop-off. I want to let you guys know she also commented on Scott Disick's reaction to Kourtney and Travis's engagement, because if you watch the Kardashians Hulu show, you see Scott kind of be a douchebag when it's brought up. He starts kind of dogging on Kourtney a little bit, and Khloe did recognize that she does need to speak up a little bit more when it comes to Scott, but sometimes she just gets a little too invested in his story, so that's why sometimes she doesn't go as hard after Scott. And she also discussed, you guys, that Disneyland Photoshop fail. If you don't know what I'm talking about the photo that Kim Kardashian posted on her Instagram feed that featured True and Chicago at Disneyland. Come to find out, True was actually photoshopped into that photo. Khloe let that mistake spill when she took True to Disneyland for the first time for her birthday a few months ago. Kim later did clarify that it was actually Stormi in the photo, and Khloe backed her up saying, yes, what Kim was saying is true. Kylie didn't want Stormi on social media at the time, so I gave her permission to Photoshop True in. She said she didn't think that anyone noticed. Of course, we all absolutely still did notice. I still personally feel like there's something like suspicious and a little off about this Disneyland Photoshop story, and I think Kim, Khloe, and Kylie are all in on it. I don't know why. I'm just not buying this like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. We didn't think anyone would notice. Something about it just still feels fishy to me. I don't know why. I can't explain it. It's just a gut feeling, but I obviously have a lot more thoughts about everything else we discussed. So let's go ahead and make this pop-off official, get to the shams, and get to the shambong. Okay, so overall, I feel like I just have to start this pop-off by saying that I really loved this interview that Khloe Kardashian did. I truly felt like we're starting to kind of see pieces of the old Khloe, that she's starting to kind of get her old self back. In fact, she even said that at the beginning of the interview. She's like, I feel like I'm finally starting to get back to my old self. And I just want to say I absolutely see it and I appreciate it. And also, just to clarify, basically what I mean when I say that Khloe Kardashian is starting to get her old self back, or we're starting to see the old Khloe, essentially, if you guys remember, like early on in Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Khloe was definitely the sister that essentially just said what the rest of us were thinking. Like, I feel like she definitely represented the public opinion. She always definitely kept her sisters on their toes. She definitely always had those funny, sarcastic remarks. And somewhere along the way, I think just after everything she's been through with Lamar and Tristan, she kind of lost that. And it's understandably so. I mean, she's been through a lot. But now I definitely feel like she's starting to focus on herself, get back to her old self. And I don't know, I just definitely want to applaud her for it, because I know it's not easy. Now, as far as her comments about Tristan Thompson and their relationship, I was happy that she addressed all of those things, specifically because, and I don't know if you guys have been seeing this too, but I feel like people have had this theory that Khloe and Tristan are still together to this day, and I think a lot of that has to do with Tristan Thompson sending Kris flowers for Mother's Day, but people have this theory that Khloe Kardashian actually did not break up with him after the paternity scandal. Not me particularly. I've been on team. I hope that they actually are broken up, and now after this interview, I feel even more confident in saying that she is absolutely done with Tristan Thompson this time once and for all. I mean, for me personally, I feel like in the past, Tristan Thompson was easily able to manipulate Khloe when it came to his other cheating scandals. Like, you know, when he was motorboating girls in the club when she was 9 months pregnant. He can definitely manipulate her into thinking, oh, it was just a one-off, it was just a one-night thing, I had too much to drink, I don't know what I was thinking. And then when it came to Jordyn Woods, Lord only knows what his story of events were. Obviously, Jordyn Woods tried to put her truth out there and the truth out there. But when it comes to this paternity scandal in particular. Like what she said, the facts are the facts. There is no possible way that Tristan Thompson can manipulate the fact that while he was with Khloe Kardashian, he hooked up with another woman and got her pregnant. DNA does not lie. So I feel like in this third scandal, Tristan Thompson could not say anything to make Khloe Kardashian believe the lies coming out of his mouth. And after this interview, it sounds to me like this whole paternity scandal situation was really the final straw for Khloe. So once again, I do not believe that they're still together. On top of that, you guys, I feel like I have to commend Khloe Kardashian for always speaking so highly of Tristan Thompson. Personally, I feel like if I were in her position, I would not always have the most positive things to say about the father of my child. Now, I know why she's doing it. I know she never wants True to read a negative thing about her dad that came from her mouth, but I'm just saying, I know myself. I know my petty self. I know how I can be. I just really commend Khloe for never really saying a bad word about Tristan Thompson in the press. And you know what? I'm also so happy to hear that Khloe Kardashian is not ready to date right now. I think that is the absolute best choice. I think she needs to take time. I think she needs to keep focusing on getting her old self back, focus on True, just focus on other things besides just dating, because she has been put through the ringer. And I think she definitely deserves grace and time to figure out what she wants next. I do think it will be interesting to see when Khloe is ready and when she's done working on herself. It will be interesting to see what kind of guy Khloe goes for next. I am kind of thinking he's going to look similar to like a Pete Davidson, Travis Barker type, just because I feel like the Kardashian sisters are always on the same page. I don't know, I just am getting that feeling. I think it would be hilarious, and if it does, obviously we're gonna have to, you know, tease her just a little bit, because then I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't. But just something to look out for, and obviously whenever Khloe's linked to anyone, I'll be sitting right here to fill you in on it. All right, you guys, that's the latest with Khloe Kardashian. I want to hear all of your thoughts and feels on this recent interview she did down below. While you guys are at it, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget that notification bell. For more content, make sure you follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. And of course, don't forget to keep coming back to my channel to check out my YouTube shorts. You guys can also find all of my merch over at my merch store at houseofhill.com. And on that note, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!